Joel Embiid, upset about sitting out the game, took to his Instagram story to vent, effing sick and tired of being babied. All right, so look, here's Brett Brown's response for last night.
He just wants to play basketball. He wants to be with his team. He wants to play in front of the fans. You know, he wants to see this through. And when he's not able to do that, he gets frustrated. And I respect his frustration. It's born out of competitiveness, and it's born out of him wanting to be with his team.
So, look, I just get the facts here. His status for Game 3, they're saying it's not clear. Brett Brown came out this morning, and he said, we're all united. That was sort of, hey, he just wants to play. On the other hand, I don't know of any other player who could come out. I mean, that is really strong language. We did not obviously show you all of it, but even the other parts that you do see on the screen, sick and tired of being babied, that's really about the organization. Is it just, hey, Joel Embiid, like Charles Barkley, has kind of given himself so much runway that he can say anything like this, and everyone both inside and outside the team is like, that's just Joel being competitive.
Well, they're not babying him, they're protecting him.
Well, we know that,
Absolutely.
but he comes out on social media and says this. I want you to just pretend it's another player. What if Kyrie came out and said this?
Well,
what if,
you know what would happen. You would call him in the next day and say, we appreciate you feel that way, but you can't do that on social media.
Right.
And when he's 27, he probably wouldn't do it. Oh, maybe, I don't know. Embiid's kind of, he likes being out there. Maybe
when he's 37.
Yeah.
He probably would
I
do
mean,
it.
the pressure on Philadelphia is to protect Embiid. It's not to play him in Game 3. It's to protect him so that he can be there potentially in a Game 3 of the conference finals. I mean, it is hard, as you know, Byron, keeping players back. And he's not just upset about not playing in this series. He's upset about all the stuff that's happened in the past. And so he's worked so hard to get here, and especially that they lost it. But look, Rachel, yesterday when we left the show, I said, I promise that there is going to be adversity for the Sixers.
Yep.
And here we are. This is what happens in a playoff run. You have to manage these things.
Yeah, I don't think it's adversity, though. I think, what Coach Brown said is true. The kid, is frustrated. He wants to play. If they would have won yesterday, you wouldn't have heard nothing from him. He wouldn't have said anything. But since they lost the game, he knows he can help this team win. He knows he's a big part of this team. He wants to be out there. He wants to be with his teammates. I agree with that. But at 23 years old or whatever he is right now, he's going to let that frustration get to him from time to time. And I think they're handling it right. I don't think it's going to divide the team. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with the team thinking that he's not one of them. I think even, if anything, they're going to know that he's even more so with them. He wants to be with them on the basketball court. So I don't think it's going to fuel them in any way, good or bad. I think it is what it is, and we know that this is a young kid that just wants to be out there and play with his teammates.
He also gave the Heat fans the playbook for signs and paraphernalia to bring to the game.
Babies and,
There could be rattles and
I can't imagine any of them doing that. That's never happened before. I will say, I don't think it's bad, by the way, that he, quote, gets away with this kind of social media behavior. I think it's good, first of all. I think it's great that, he adds fun and spice to the game. Players being honest is what we all, and by the way, we, including the fans, would like players to do. So I think it's great. I just think it's an example of, again, I used to work with Charles Barkley. He could literally say anything on the air, and most of the time people were like, oh, Charles, right? And I think Joel has kind of reached that point, and as I said, I think it's a good thing. It lets him just express anything he wants, and it's fun, and it's good for fans. Keep going.